Technical Services Committee to order. Could you please call the roll? Here.
Here. Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the November 7th, 2016 committee meeting?
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there any old business to come before this committee? Seeing none, moving on to new business. Item number 1, Thomas Cowles, DPW Commissioner, received a request from Susan Goodman for the purchase and placement of a bench in Brightback Park as a surprise for a family member. Is there any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Item number 2, under authorization, Kevin Caracoli, City Attorney, requests consideration from the Common Council to enter into a shared services agreement with the County of Oswego for the disposal of lactate from the county to the city's wastewater treatment facilities in exchange for the depositing of sludge from the city to the county's ERF. Authorization is also requested for the mayor to execute said agreement. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll take a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Item number 3, Susan Deary, on behalf of the Oswego Lions Club, requests use of Brightback Park for their 6th annual River's Edge Craft Show on Sunday, June 11th, 2017, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Also, the Oswego Lions Club is requesting use of the city bandstand for the event, a waiver of the noise ordinance in order to have live music, and a waiver of the open container ordinance for the wine tasting, use of 2 parking lots, one for the vendor parking and the other for the public. Commission is also requested to place several A-frame signs at various locations to advertise the craft show. Certificate of liability insurance in the amount of $1 million. This from the city as the named additional insured will be provided. Susan.
Yes. Every year we've asked the council for the use of, well, the past several years for the use of Brightback Park. We started down at Bridey Manor. We had 35 vendors. This year we have about 90 registered. Also, you listed what we've asked for, and any of our profits do go to the visually impaired, particularly children who are visually impaired. So I'd appreciate your support.
Any questions or comments?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question actually is for Mr. Rudzik. Mr. Rudzik has been is the chair of a new events committee, and I know they've been meeting for the past couple of weeks now. And my question is the events committee ready, or will it be ready to start reviewing requests like this in the near future?
We'll be ready after January.
I'm wondering if
early January we'll be ready to. We're working on our policy and procedures and application, and we'll be ready right after January. So that we anticipate in our timeline.
I wonder if there's any great urgency to pass this now and to push this on until January to allow our new events committee to start their new processes that would begin for next year.
Susan?
Last year we had an issue obtaining Brightback. I just wanted to get it in early, and we had a conflict. And the event's been there. I believe this will be the 5th year, so we just wanted to, retain the spot.
I wouldn't anticipate us reserving Brightback for any. I would anticipate us doing the exact same thing for any other group that would come to the council for that type of reservation. I don't. My response would be wouldn't anticipate there would be an issue of Brightback not being available because we wouldn't approve it for any other group. Does that make sense?
Does every group have to go through council that, okay. I just know every single
Correct.
group that reserved Brightback had to go to council.
Correct. There's a new events committee that's been appointed by the mayor to review such requests. And I know they've been meeting for a couple of weeks, maybe over a month now, and putting some processes together. And that's the group that actually anticipated would be looking at requests like this in the future before they came to council.
So you'd like me to come back
because this
again?
request is for an event far out into the future, it would be I think it would be a good event for them to review, quite honestly, as they get up and going in January.
Do you review every event? Say a wedding or receptions there? Everything?
I mean, right now the focus is the events, so any events that you would need to request approval, it would be a streamlined process, so that way it's not getting facilitated by different departments, so you have one group and then we would seek approval from the corresponding such as police or DPW to let them know about coordinating those dates, but it would be every single event.
Okay. My concern was just another group, maybe smaller group slipping in and getting that spot when, okay.
So I think
I'll,
to answer your question, I mean, Tom is now aware of that, and I think you put a little note saying that, to reserve that date in case there's another conflict, so.
all right. So you want me to come back before the council after the first of the year?
We can pass this and just add language that pending review of the events.
I mean, there's gonna be different events coming through, so, it's up to you whether you wanna have this one be ushered through. I don't see any reason why not to usher it through right now.
I'm in the same agreement. This has been a long-standing event that's taken care of their own since the get-go. I know when it originally started, the big issue was not bringing the city. If you want to pass it, just add language that it's contingent upon event committee review, so there's a safety mechanism.
I would prefer that, quite frankly, because I don't want to open up, if there's an events committee that's eventually going to have this process, I do not want to open up the council to having multiple requests come on in the 11th hour and circumvent their processes come January and just and just approve all these events, and then they're sitting there come January and going, okay, I guess everything's been passed for the bulk of the summer. What are we supposed to do? So if the committee's been created, let's allow them to do some work. So if language within passage makes some sense, then I could support that, but I want to be supportive of their work as well.
Should we vote on it? Otherwise, it could be brought up next week during...
I would rather just vote on it and just add to the resolution contingent upon event committee review. We don't have that many meetings left. I can imagine a lot of events are going to be coming through during the reserve dates and things like that. Usually that's the first of the year.
Sure.
I think that's what we've seen usually, January, February, you see all the events coming forward, at least the long standing. Well,
Well, I know what Councilor Emmons is talking about, because we originally, a few months back, worked on that, policies and procedures for the events. And, the whole idea is to create a plan, a system where we don't have to, the council, get involved until at the end, you might say, and have it all approved by this procedure. And I think that's been long overdue. And I understand, again, Councilor Emmons saying, this is not till June, so we could wait until those are in place. Are you sure that the policies and procedures and the organization will be in effect beginning of January?
Absolutely.
Okay? So I could side, I'm going to side with Councilor Emmons at this and say we could wait.
I would prefer to wait.
Chair.
Council.
I personally think we should just do it like the chairman said, go with it, and then go with the procedure on Justin's new deal. So I believe that'd be a good way. It's just going to come back to us again. We're seeing things 2-3 times. We don't need to see this again.
Chairman, I agree with Councilor Walker in the respect that Mrs. Deary came here early, was prepared. I think that I'm not opposed to having language that it should be upon the review of the committee when it's formed, but I think tonight, since they're here tonight, I would in favor of passing right now.
I would agree.
I
agree as well.
There's a majority to pass this with contingent upon event committee review. I think it's a fair compromise.
Excuse me, Counselor. There's 4 people on the committee, so I don't know if there's...
No, I meant just to pass the council. It's your full council, I agree with you want.
But if we don't approve it at the council level, at the committee level,
Consensus here, putting a committee to move forward, correct?
Yes.
And I believe one member, two members not on the committee have voiced their support for it.
All right.
Give us a majority. I'm trying to make a compromise.
Sure.
I feel like that's probably in the best interest. It still gets it through your committee, and if it doesn't pass the event committee's review, it'll fail, and it goes back to square one anyway. It's sort of coming back in. Your strong opinion to not move forward? Am I missing that?
No, not as far as I'm concerned, no. Go ahead.
So I guess with that, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
No.
Counselor Goza.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Is there any other business to come before this committee? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make motion?
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Goza.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes. Okay, at this time, I'd like to open up the Administrative Services Committee meeting. Please call the roll.
Counselor Corradino.
Here.
Counselor Van Buren.
Here.
Counselor Reynolds. Counselor Walker.
Here.
Counselor Emmons.
Here.
I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of the November 7th, 2016 committee meeting.
Make a motion.
Second.
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds. Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Is there any old business to take care of? Seeing none, moving on to new business. Under discussion, item number 1, Deborah Code, City Chamberlain, and Police Chief Tori DeCare are requesting a discussion regarding a budget amendment to update computer programs. I believe Chief DeCare is here to speak about this.
Thank you, Chairman. I'll do my best to try to give you an overview of what we're talking about and why we're here. And then if Mike Bonning is around, which I know he said he was going to be, he can probably answer a little more of the technical questions. In the Chamberlain's office, they typically use a program called KVS. KVS does everything financial related, dollars and cents, what comes in, what goes out. And that system is antiquated, is no longer being supported, so they're looking for another system to go to. They've researched a few systems. The one that they decided on was Logix Solutions. It does a lot of the things that they currently do, and in addition to that, it also will provide for a credit card online paying solution that's not third-party related. So they really wanted to go with this product, which I think was a great idea. And the reason why I'm here and how I got involved is it didn't involve a parking ticket solution, which KVS currently tracks, bills, and monitors our parking tickets. So in discussions of what are we going to do about that, it came to light that the system that we were looking at, replacing our current records management system, offers that type of module. So it really dovetailed into our project. Our project was going to try to get off the ground in the spring, but given the circumstances, City Chamberlain thought it might be a good idea to combine these two and start looking at it right now rather than later. When it comes to our system, SJS we've been using since 2001. Again, it's antiquated, it's a state system they're no longer going to support. And as Mike Bonning can attest, we're getting to the point now where we're really putting it through the paces. We've been down a couple of times this year, one extended outage, which lasted about a couple of weeks, and it puts us behind in everything from traffic tickets to motor vehicle accident reports, report writing and processing arrests, and so forth. So we have to go to something. We did a lot of research in trying to determine which was the best solution for us. We actually started this about 18 months ago. When we first talked to Impact, they brought in one of their advisors who did a presentation. They offer everything that we need in terms of our solutions, above and beyond what we need in some cases. So we weren't comfortable 18 months ago going with this as a solution because they weren't proven yet. Fortunately, at the same time, SUNY Oswego Police was also looking at them, and then they went with them. We decided to hold off, wait to see how it goes with implementation out there. And then we just recently went out and reviewed a real-world application, and it does everything that we would need it to do. The bonus on this is it's contract state pricing, so it's exactly what we were looking for at the rock bottom price. So at Deb's encouragement, we decided to kind of combine these two projects, put them where it really should go, and the person who knows what they're doing with the IT side, and put that under the computer department, the IT guy. And if there are other questions, or if Mike's here, maybe you might want to run it by him through the chair.
Yeah, I did talk with Mrs. Code over the last few weeks, so I do have some background information on this. So in reality, I mean, it's a complete accounting package with components for the police department and taking into account credit card payment, bringing in the waterfront as well, I believe. Mm-hmm. Now, the rock bottom price that you mentioned, is that the 160?
No, that's 160 for the total project, combining to two. Our portion of that is the 68,000. The rest of the remaining of that is the integration, and then also for the project solution portion.
So the total, I just want to make sure I get this right. The total that we're looking for is 160.
Correct. That would be what they're going to ask for the budget amendment.
Okay. And because I didn't see any line items as far as what it included, but I mean, that's a total price. There won't be any additional requests later on for training or software.
As far as the impact for the police side, that's a total price. There may be other things that we have to buy later on that are, monitor related type things that aren't included in this project, but those are just, of course, of business. But if I can't speak to what is included in the Logix solution, I don't know if that's all encompassing. I can tell you that it is a cloud-based service, so most everything that has to do with it, they take care of on their end. They're not really purchasing any hardware or things, so I don't think you're going to see a price increase. And the 160, I think, is including everything that needs to be done for the implementation of both projects.
As far as the police department goes, your component of this is strictly just parking ticket component, or is there any other ancillary services or programs that your department needs?
Right. Well, honestly, it was a last-second addition that we even came to find out that our program was going to offer, because at the beginning, since we already had a parking ticket system, that module was irrelevant. It wasn't until recently that it became very relevant and that we were going to actually start using that. That was one of those things that Mike Bonning pointed out, that we could probably combine the two and actually get the best of both worlds. But in addition to that, it does incident reporting, arrest reporting, and it actually coordinates with our live scan to process arrests, and then a lot of other administrative tasks that we currently do piecemeal. We're going to be able to put it in all in one-stop shop.
I'd like to hear that. It sounds like it's going to be efficient, because I understand policemen over the years have done a lot of paperwork over the years. So if we can make it more efficient and get the cops out of the office writing reports and on the street, I think that's a good thing.
And actually, since you mentioned that, one of the bonuses that we've kind of learned from SUNY Police is that our current SJS system, although it works in our MDTs, the mobile data terminals, it's not really user-friendly. Whereas this version it works just as your mobile data terminal, just as it does on a desktop computer. So you're going to be able to do more in the field than you were previously, or easier and more efficiently with the equipment we currently have.
Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, I have a motion.
Counselor Corodino?
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren?
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds? Counselor Walker? Yes. Counselor Emmons? Do we need a resolution?
Chief, can I have a resolution? Thank you. Item number 2, Justin Rudgick, Community Development Director, requested discussion of the purchase agreement between the City of Oswego and Housing Visions regarding the sale of the Flexo Wire site for the development of the Harbor View Square.
Justin liked the way I handled the last one, so he asked me to.
I understand.
Any questions? Ben Lockwood is here from Housing Visions as well. We have been working with Housing Visions on putting together a comprehensive purchase contract for the properties that would make up the Harbor View Square project, which is one of our signature anchor projects for the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. We believe that we have a contract in place that we are seeking the council's approval on. This encompasses 5 separate parcels that essentially are all contained within the Flexo Wire site. If you look at it on a tax map, it's broken down into 4 parcels, and then The additional parcel is the closed portion of Van Buren Street between 1st and 2nd Street. So that's, if you can visualize that, from Schuyler up to Lake Street and between 1st and 2nd Street, that entire property is essentially the project property. Now, what is further interesting and compelling here is that Housing Visions has to make a number of applications to various state authorities and funding sources, and so they have to show evidence of control, site control. Doesn't mean that they have to, well, and there's several different ways that you can evidence site control. The highest and best way is that you own it, but we, in our interest, don't want to just give up property without any assurance that there's going to be a project on the other end of it. So one of the other high criteria is to show that you're under contract with the current landowner for site control, so that you can, it makes your application stronger. This contract will be conditioned upon the applicant actually receiving state funding and all of its funding sources to go forward and able to develop this project. So I don't think that we're giving up anything by way of control of the property. It's a contract that has conditions written into it, principally those that we have to show. They have to show evidence that they have the funding and can go forward with the project of this scope and magnitude, and they, of course, have to show that they have some form of site control. This contract would do just that.
Any comments, questions? I have just one.
Certainly.
I just want to reiterate, I know before I got on the council that there were issues and problems with the Cahill building, for example, with a developer not following through. So what you just said, I believe, answers my question. Is, you know, there's this section here that says the sale of property will not occur until Housing Visions is able to show sufficient financing for the proposed development. So that's in there to protect us, correct?
Very much so. Absolutely. And you know, to be candid, and I don't want to speak for Housing Visions, but I don't think they want to own a brownfield site in the city of Oswego without knowing that there's a project on the other end of that. So, and that is a good point. And in the spirit of full transparency, the purchase price is $150,000. But that is a brownfield site, and by all estimations, there's probably going to be about $2 million worth of environmental remediation that's needed to bring that property into a state of environmental compliance where residential properties could be built on top of it. And that is an obligation of the purchaser. This is not an obligation of the city of Oswego. We are offering that property to Housing Visions for them to develop, for them to remediate the environmental conditions and build the project in accordance with the approvals and the plans they've submitted already to the city.
The second part of that sentence in here, it says funding award decision from the New York State Homes and Community Renewals anticipated by June of 2007. Maybe he can speak to this, but is that, what are the chances of that happening? I mean, is this something that it hinges on that, I would imagine? So what are the chances of getting this award?
Clearly hinges on it. We think that the chances are very good. There's no guarantees, and oftentimes, as Ben will tell you, it may take a couple of applications to go through. Maybe depending on the block of applications that are received and the competitiveness of them, we may rank, second to some others and given higher priority. We think we have a very good shot, and we're owning this because we're partnering with Housing Visions as our preferred developer. If you recall, you approved that a couple months ago. Again, it's a signature project. It's part of our an anchor project for our DRI. We think there's a lot of positives to this, so we believe that Housing Visions is putting together a very good application, and showing proof of site control is going to be high on that list. That will allow the application to score much higher than perhaps some others.
So if it doesn't make this June 2017 award, is it every year, every 6 months? What is the, I mean, I'm just wondering if it doesn't make that one, will it be another year down the road?
6 months, roughly?
The first condition is that to 2017, and I think we can renew for 1 more year.
Yeah, you know, the applications come up every 6 to 8 months, and you can apply or reapply. This contract does have some extender provisions, so that we're giving Housing Visions a full and fair opportunity to not only make application but be granted an award, so this project can go forward. And to be candid, there aren't developers waiting in the wings to develop this project. There was one other applicant, or one other individual or group that submitted an RFP, and candidly, Housing Visions was far and apart the best plan that was submitted.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Yes. Yes, sir.
I've heard it all.
This company took over Hamilton Homes, and my friend over here reassured me of the deal over there. I want to tell you what, this company did a great job over there. I think they got a little cheap, but we can't be positive on everything. But they did a great job of rehabbing that area over there, and they did real well. I think you ought to let this company take care of this business over here, okay? They need to take care of FlexiWire, which is more than Mary Van Oust did.
Thank you. Any other comments? Seeing none, can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Counselor Corodino?
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren?
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds? Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Emmons? And we need a resolution?
We need a resolution. I'm not sure, is it Justin or is it your assistant there, city attorney?
We have Miles right there?
Or Miles.
Good, good, Miles.
Good point, yes. He's on the committee, must be. Moving on to transfer of funds, item number 3. Jeffrey McRobey, Fire Chief, is requesting an intra-departmental transfer of funds for the following accounts. $1,570 from account A.3410.0410 to account A.3410.0200, and $1,570 from account A-3410.0411 to account A.341.0200. I believe Chief McRobey is not here because he said he did have a previous engagement, and he did forward information to all of us on the council. Do you have any questions, issues, comments? I mean, this was pretty straightforward. Yes, Council.
Well, it's nice to let the public know on it. It's for their HVAC pumps. I guess they're going bad for their heat over the buildings. And it's housekeeping. You got to take care of it. They need heat in the building, so I'm going to support that.
Well, in addition to that, his recommendation was one of the heat pumps of the 13 that they have in the building is failed,
Right.
and he's requesting to purchase 2, not just one, and have one as a backup, which I think that's being very smart about this, because if you have 13, it's not if they'll fail, it's when they'll fail. So it's smart thinking. Any other comments?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Counselor Corodino?
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren?
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Emmons?
Yes.
Item number 4, under executive session. Kevin Caracoli, City Attorney, requests an executive session for discussion on proposed, pending, or current litigation in regards to Harbor House condominiums. And I have a motion to recess to executive session.
Second.
Counselor Corodino?
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren?
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds? Counselor Walker? Counselor Emmons?
Yes.